Hi, welcome back to August Love Story, the channel. I am Artieka.
And I'm Tommy.
And today we are reviewing Put a Ring on It, Season 2, Episode 1. And it is titled No Rings, No Boundaries. If you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. And are you ready to do this, sir?
And I am ready to do this, ma'am.
All right. So, a couple I wrote the least about Sean and LaRonda.
All right.
So, we learn about Sean and LaRonda. They have been together for 3 years. She's the structure. He's the creative. They met on Instagram. He slid in her DMs and they've been together ever since.
How long have they been together?
3 years.
3 years. All right.
I felt like last season, at this point, we had gotten a little bit more background on the couples, other than just 3 years, no commitment outside of we go together. But of course, LaRonda is trying to get married, and Sean is like, I'm out here trying to chase my dreams. So, Dr. Nicole tells them that they're going to be going out on dates with other people. We find out that the guys are going to go on their dates first. So Sean ends up going out on a date with Rachel. They go for a hike.
Yep.
And LaRonda asks strange questions like, are y'all going to be in front of each other and behind each other? Or y'all going to be like, he was like side by side. And she was like how close to each other? I'm like, these are weird questions.
Well, you know, she was trying to ask.
But he hadn't met the girl yet.
I mean, like, come on, man. Everybody looks at a butt every now and again. She was trying to find out if they're going to be holding hands. Let me translate her questions for you. Are you going to be looking at her butt? Are y'all going to be close to each other? Are y'all going to be touching?
If he said hands. He didn't look at her butt, I would assume he's lying.
Yeah.
Not because of how she looks, but in general.
Right.
You're going to look at her butt, regardless of if you're interested or not. It's a butt, especially if it's a good one, it's going to be looked at.
Especially if it's a good one.
Next question. What was the next one you said?
I don't remember.
Are y'all going to be holding hands?
Yeah. This is basically what she wanted to know. It just came out a way that she wasn't openly like asking those questions.
I just feel like y'all grown and in a relationship and you want to get married, you should just be able to ask those questions.
Yeah.
So on the ride to the hike, Rachel drove. Yeah. And they joked about her radio voice.
Yeah.
And when they got to the park to go walking or to go hiking, they discussed the relationship with Sean and LaRonda. And basically, he was just like, you know, we got some issues, but I think we're good. And so when I didn't really get a lot from their date and their interaction, and I always think it's a little bit weird. I even said it last season. Don't talk about me on your date. Like, you're supposed to be dating. Right. Don't talk about your current situation when you thinking about not being in your current situation.
Well, I mean, like for him, he's not like most of the time people like they're surprised, which I always ask the question, why are you surprised at what's being asked to be done? And you know, it's a show. But anyway,
you talking about the fact that you're going on dates?
That you're going on a date. The thing about it is like not taking it serious enough to not actually have a meaningful conversation with a person to see if this could lead to somewhere else. Because most of the time people are thinking I'm in a relationship with my girl, you know, and I don't want to mess that up by actually trying with this new person.
And then I'd be like, why did y'all sign up for the show?
Why did you sign up for the show if you wasn't going to fully go?
And this felt like Put a Ring on It, the semi-famous edition.
It did.
So they get back in with Dr. Nicole, and Dr. Nicole asked Sean, what did he learn about himself? And he said that he can trust himself. And I was like, you didn't think
you could trust yourself before?
I was a little concerned with his answer because it's just like, you should know more about yourself than that after this date, but whatever. So Dr. Nicole then poses that he can go on a date with someone new, or he can go on a date with Rachel again. And he basically said he wants to go on a new date because Rachel felt like she was almost perfect and he didn't want to risk that.
and LaRonda was like, well, if a person was like almost perfect, then that's seemed like I would go on the second date. He was like, well, it's not your decision. I was like, dude, you finna get on this show and get your feelings hurt, man.
It is not her decision. However,
you finna get your feelings hurt on this show,
what
man.
she said makes sense. If I was dating a person, like, take the parameters of him being with LaRonda. But if I was Sean and I was going on a date with Rachel and I thought that Rachel was like someone that I'm really getting to know, really vibing with, I would go on a second date.
Yeah.
Because you don't deny yourself a second date with someone that you truly like.
Right, exactly.
If that's what you really like. But don't be trying to save yourself for LaRonda. Save yourself for yourself.
Right.
So next we had Darion and Alexia. The first thing Tommy says, they look like the dude from Field Mob. I was like, look him up because I don't know what he look like. And then they go into this thing. Rapper from the group Field Mob. And I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't watch enough music videos in my youth.
I was like, I remember them, man.
So
that was one of my groups.
Alexia is a retired basketball player. And he's from Field Mob. They've been together off and on for 14 years. I always wonder how that works. Because
I don't know.
My off don't go back on very easy.
I don't know how it works, man.
He said that he thinks Alexia doesn't think that he's all into this relationship, which if we just take everything and just present the on and off for 14 years, somebody's not serious about the relationship. Let's just hold that in the palm of our hands. So they did have a conversation about their rules and boundaries, which I forgot to mention with Sean and LaRonda. And Dr. Nicole told them, write down these rules and boundaries for yourself, not for your significant other. And but this first date that you're going on does not have any rules and boundaries. It's whatever you guys want to do.
Wherever this thing leads to, that's where it goes. You guys are grown.
And Darion almost got shanked.
Let me finish.
And Alexia was 2 steps from saying, play with your mama, not with me. But he went on a date with Kai, and I don't know if it was editing or if that's just how the date started, but he started off talking about his music career.
Yeah, he did. He did.
And she asked him, would he like it if she kissed him? And I was like, y'all just be going around kissing like this? Knowing that, like, I mean, it's not that she offered, but she basically did everything but say, can I kiss you real quick?
Yeah.
And it's like, you know that he has a girlfriend. So it's like, are you playing the villain role to test the waters for him?
Well, I don't feel like the one thing is they understand what they're on the show for. Mm-hmm. Like, hey, you finna go on a date with this guy. Yes, he's in a relationship. We're gonna, you're gonna meet her. Mm-hmm. She's probably not gonna be okay with it, but hey, you're going on a date with this guy. Mm-hmm. They're rocky. They may or may not, get together. I mean, stay together. He may like you and leave her for you. Mm-hmm. You never know what happens, but they go on this date. And so that's just her natural way of the conversation flows. I felt like it was a little weird because on the first date, you don't ask a person, like, do you want me to kiss you or something like that?
Would you like it if I kiss you?
Would you like it if I kiss you? Like, his response was a typical man's response. Yes, I would like it. Would I hope you don't. But yes, I would like that. You know, especially a pretty girl, you know, and with the body that she had, like, he obviously made that a point to point out. You know, he was like,
that's what was going to get him shanked at the house.
Right. Her things was thanging and all that stuff.
He said, usually girls with breasts like that, brains are in their breasts.
Usually girls with a butt like that.
No, then she asked him something. He was like, wait. Let me finish.
You ain't let me finish.
And we just skipped over. Like, the end of the day, I don't really know how it ended because they just cut back to him coming in the house. Right. This conversation about the breast and the booty. And I
must say, man, he is so from Atlanta, man, because he's a very animated person. I love it. And I
couldn't be in a relationship with it, but that's your friend that you see every so often, and you be like, that boy is wild. Yeah. And then
every time you see him, you be like, that boy wild.
You get a good laugh off of him, and then you be done with it. Yeah. But in the constraints of that conversation, Alexia got really pissed off at him and went outside. And
I think what made her mad was the comparison that he was trying to make between her and Kai. Mm-hmm. And that really upset her because she wasn't comfortable with how he was reacting. You know, even when they first left, she was saying that, I don't know if he's like super excited. He shouldn't be so excited to be going out on a date with somebody else. Mm-hmm. And it's already a fragile thing because of the off and on for 14 years.
I wonder how long, and I hope they get into this later on in the season. I wonder how long that this stretch of on has been. Yeah. Because they did mention that they pick right back up where they left off, but the assumption is there that because she was playing basketball, she wasn't focused on guys. Yeah. Because she was overseas playing ball. Yeah. And then, not to say that she could not have been, but the assumption is there. And then for him touring, we know what the rapper lifestyle looks like. No matter how good or bad the rapper is, there's always a groupie. And he was in a fairly popular group, so it's not like he was just some random dude.
This whole time I've been singing their song in my head, man.
You were singing it during the episode.
I know I was, man.
But I'm wondering how long that stretch of on has been, and like, at what point was she like, man, we got to do something. Like, we got to pick one.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting to see, okay, so like, this is their therapy, you know? Like, we've been here 14 years and we're not going anywhere because, you know, I want to get married, but he hadn't proposed or anything like that. So
yeah, it's like 14 years on and off, but is that the equivalent of like 3 years completely straight through? Like, what does that look like? Yeah. Because you don't know what it looks like, you don't know how serious of a situation it really is. Yeah. So it's just, I'm interested to learn more about them as a couple. Just to kind of get to the root of that. But he told Dr. Nicole that he has seen some things with Kai that he hasn't seen with Alexia. And Alexia said, don't compare me to another woman. And that's why I thought he was going to get hit in the mouth. They ended up cutting after they asked him, was he going to go on another date with Kai? Yeah. And we didn't get to see the answer. But in the previews, we saw Kai. So
we're assuming that he said yes.
The assumption, the answer is yes, or Dr. Nicole made the decision for him.
I do have to say this. At one point when they were talking and right before he was getting ready to say whatever decision he made to do, Alexia, is that her name? Alexia. She was like, it's disrespectful or something like that for him to go on another date with her
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, you're thinking about it wrong. It's not disrespect. Y'all signed up for this.
Okay, so this is not, I was about to say to be fair, but it's not to be fair, obviously.
Yeah.
But when they signed up for this show, they're thinking we're going to go do these little 4-5 dates. And at the end of it, you're going to realize that what you had at home was the best thing that you could have had going. And we're going to get married. And that's going to be the end of it. But nobody factors in that percentage of what if they like somebody else?
Right. And that's the whole point.
But nobody factors that in because we all like to have enough esteem of ourselves to believe that I'm the best thing for you. And you just need to realize that I'm the best thing for you so we can go and get married and do this. And in general, from the last season, that's typically the case.
Yeah.
But you only got one season to go on, so.
And you can tell it's getting better. Like they paid attention to last season and to this season and trying to do some new things. So.
And I also think that they are, I don't want to say equipping the dates better, but they're explaining a little bit more of the parameters because I read the casting call for last season's dates and they did not know that they were going on dates with people that were in relationships. But I think this season they do know it when they're coming into it.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit different. And it's like they're picking women that are like willing to go. I don't want to say the extra mile, not just women, because we've only seen the women as the dates, but they're picking people that are willing to go the extra mile and attempt to have the deeper connection and not just you're in a relationship, so I'm not going to touch that. Like, hey, I'm here.
Yeah.
We can do this.
Yeah.
But so far it hasn't panned out that way.
Gotcha.
But we only on the first episode. So then we get to Eric and Jessica. Y'all tell me where we know Jessica from. Do we know Jessica? Because Tommy and I were both staring at her like she looks so familiar, but I can't place her. I looked her up on Instagram and I was like, nothing about her places it for me.
Mm-mm. But
she looks very familiar. So Eric and Jessica have been together for 4 years. They also met on Instagram. He's a former Falcons player and their first date has no boundaries, which was everybody's first date. Eric seems to think that Jessica just doesn't trust him. And I'll be honest, from the little bit of a clip that we saw, I wouldn't trust him either.
Yeah.
Is that safe? Like, that a safe assumption to say?
I mean, yeah, like in the beginning, man, she said that he cheated on her. Mm-hmm. In the beginning of the relationship, so that's understandable. And
then he also told his date, Shamara, that he started out with Jessica while he had other chicks.
Yeah,
and he was like, I mean, it's just how it happened.
Yeah, I mean that's a part of the lifestyle he was living at that time. Mm-hmm. Now, I think the biggest thing for him on that date is to not focus. I think the funny part was that he was like, I still got it. Like he didn't know if he still had it or not. But like to really focus on getting to know the person that he's dating and getting to know how he feels about that. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we didn't see much from the day. They just sat down, had wine or whatever they were drinking, and just talked about like, you know, they talked about him and his relationship with this girl, him being on a curfew. But she told him, Jessica told him he needs to be back in the hour. Yeah, so that would have been one of my rules. Like Jessica had the problem with Shamara showing up to the house more so than the other ladies did, and LaRonda didn't have any problem. She gave the girl a hug. Right. Yeah, but we talked about that too. We should. Like, I don't like it. I was like, I understand. You know, I feel like the first date, don't come to the house. Let's meet
Nobody
somewhere.
needs to know where I live, like in general. I don't know if you're crazy. Just because you signed up for a casting call for a TV show does not make you not crazy. I don't want your dates or my dates at the house. Like that just doesn't make sense to me. But I don't know if that's a boundary that they didn't think to set, or if they're just like, no, it's cool. And they just went along with it. Yeah. But some people are like, they not thinking about it. They probably did. Yeah. So essentially during that date, we learned that this was Shamara's first blind date, and she's out here also looking for a husband and some kids. So I don't think he's the one for nobody.
I don't think
have a husband to be their husband. But like Tommy said, he told Dr. Nicole in the group that he still got it. His date was great. And Jessica said that she feels that he isn't trying to build a life with her. He's just trying to see who he can smash. And I'll just be completely honest. If I was with someone and I felt like they were not trying to build a life with me, but they were just trying to go out and have sex with other people, I wouldn't be in a relationship with them. Yeah. So that makes me wonder, why are you staying? Because if you feel that he's trying to see who he can go out and smash, that means that you're comfortable being disrespected. Mm-hmm. And if you're comfortable being disrespected, he's going to continue to disrespect you. Right. And so that begs me to wonder, like, what is it that's keeping you there?
That's the same thing we wanted last year too. I think he said something that, it rhymed, but it sounded good. She hears what she fears. Mm-hmm. And I was like, dang, man, that's pretty good, man. Because she basically told Dr. Nicole that basically if they broke up, he would just not focus on learning himself, but he would go back into a hoe phase because she knows him and that's what he's going to do. And, he was just like.
And if that's true, that's not your problem if y'all broke up.
Right. Y'all not together no more.
I don't think about what anybody that I used to date is doing.
Don't say it. We know.
No, I'm not going to go that far because I know you hate for me to say that. Yeah. But like, seriously, unless you have children with a person, nothing that they do post being with you really matters. And for you to have kids with them, you're just mostly worried about their emotional and physical health, not how many women they are trying to have sex with. Like, you want to make sure that your kid's parent is still around, like they still have their father, that if their father is in a relationship, that it's a emotionally healthy relationship, because your kids are going to go visit. But if you don't have any kids with this person and you're not with them anymore, like, what are we concerned about? Yeah. What are we doing here?
Yeah. And Dr. Nicole, she said something too. She was like, feelings aren't facts.
She did. She said that Jessica needs to start managing her feelings, and she needs to understand that feelings are not facts. Yeah. And they asked Eric, was he going to go out on a new date this coming time that the guys can go out? And he said yes. He's not going to go back out with Shamara. He said he got all he needed to get out of Shamara. And I was like,
right. It's like, brother, did you
do you want something? Alexia to come over there and smack you too? This first episode didn't give me enough of the background stories on the couples. I felt like we were trying to piece things together, and then it was like immediately going on a date. And I don't remember how the last season started. It could have been the exact same way, but I guess because it was new, we weren't anticipating it to be that way. Yeah. But I'm interested to see how these three couples navigate everything. Tommy said he thought it was 4 couples, so I wonder, is the 4th couple going to show up?
No, it's probably not. It's probably 3.
I never looked at the couples, so I didn't have an answer for that. Yeah. You got anything else?
Nope.
All right. Tell us what you guys thought of this week's episode. And we'll see y'all next week. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. Did I cover everything?
I think so.
All right. Bye, y'all.
Peace.